guys, Taylor here and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you're been here, thanks for coming back. So in today's video, I'm finally going to be sharing with you guys my brow routine. I know I took a hot minute to give you guys this video, but it's finally here and I'm going to show you guys how I do my brows two different ways. You guys know I go for a fluffy wax brow sometimes, and sometimes I just go for the regular pencil brow. So I'm going to show you guys both ways. So if you are interested in seeing how I do my brows, then please keep on watching. Before we start the video, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Please turn your post notifications on so you get notified every time your girl uploads a video, and follow me on Instagram. And with that being said, let's jump right into the video. Alright guys, as I said in the intro, I'm going to show you guys the two ways that I do my brows. So you guys know sometimes I do like a fluffy brow, which is like the soap brow using like a brow wax, and sometimes I do my regular pencil brow. So I'm going to start with the pencil brow first, and I'm going to tell you guys what I'm going to use, and then I'll zoom you guys in and we can jump into the brows. So for the pencil, I'm going to be using the NYX micro brow pencil in the shade Espresso, and I'm going to use a pomade, and I'm using the e.l.f. brow pomade in the shade Espresso as well. Everything that I mentioned in today's video I will have linked in the description down below for you guys. By the way, you guys, I am doing this on freshly groomed brows. I'm going to do the pencil on this side and the fluffy brow on this side, just because this side is like my better looking brow and it's just easier to show you guys how I do the fluffy brow on this side. So I'm going to take my spoolie from the brow pencil. I'm just brushing the brow hairs upward, and what I do is, I want to make sure you guys can see, what I do is I just use the pencil to outline my brows. I'm just following the shape of the brow, and in some areas I have like a gap where there's no hair, so I go below the gap, if that makes sense. So now for the top, I'm just going to do the same thing. So just follow the shape of the brow. And once I get to here, I do like an arch. It looks super sharp, but when I'm cleaning up the brow, it's going to look perfect. And I just pull this down. So the tip of the arch is looking a bit sharp, so I'm taking my finger and I'm just going to run it right over the edge, but I still want that sharpness to be there. And I'm just going to use the pencil and just round out the tip of like the wing, just so it looks round. I know it looks crazy, but just trust the process. For me, the brows come together once I start to clean them up. So I'm taking this ABH number 12 brush and I'm using this for the brow pomade. As I said, I'm using the one from e.l.f. And what I do is I use this to fill in the back part of the brow. So I'm not going to bring the brow pomade to the front of the brow because this brow pomade is a little bit hard to blend into the brow, and I don't want it to look super harsh at the front of the brow. So I'm going to take back my spoolie from the NYX brow pencil and I just blend whatever product. So I'm kind of taking like a little bit of the pomade that is already in the brow plus the brow pencil, and I just blend that into the front of the brow. And I just go back with the brush. I didn't add any more product, and just touch up anywhere that I feel like needs a bit of touching up before I clean up the brow. For me, I don't really focus on the front of the brow too much, because once I clean up the brow, as I said before, it's going to look perfect. And then when I'm done doing my makeup, everything sort of kind of like just blend in perfectly. trust the process. It's coming together. To clean up the brows, I use this e.l.f. Flat brush. I've been using this for years. It's like $1 at Walmart. It's the white handle brush. I have multiple. I don't know if they still sell these. I believe they do, because last year I purchased another one on the e.l.f. website. As I said, I'll find the links to everything and have them down below for you guys, but this is what I use to clean my brows up. It is super flat and it makes the process so easy. So for the bottom part of my brows, I use a concealer. This is what I always use. This is what I use as like my eyeshadow base as well. This is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I use the shade Chestnut. It's not too dark, it's not too light, it's like the perfect shade. So I put my concealer on the back of my hand, and then I start from the back end of the brow to clean it up. And this way I'm just perfecting the shape. And after I'm done doing the back, then I move towards the front and just follow that shape. You can start from the front if you want to, but I personally just like starting from the back, because once I start from the back, I kind of know how I want to shape the brow. The back is the hardest part for me, basically. And I just drag this down onto my lids, because as I said before, this is what I use as like my eyeshadow base as well. And I'm just looking back in the mirror to make sure that the shape is what I want it to be. So there's a little gap here that I don't want. So I'm going to bring the concealer up just to kind of like erase that. And that is the bottom part of the brow. I hope I explained it correctly. I'm trying to make this as detailed as possible. So for the top part of the brow, I don't use the concealer just because I don't want that halo brow effect. I use whatever foundation I'm going to use for the day, or I just grab a foundation in my drawer that is the closest match to my face, and I use that to clean the top part of my brows, just to avoid that whole halo effect. And then when I'm applying my foundation, I don't have to go too close to the brows because the foundation is technically already there. By the way, I am using the same brush for the top parts of the brows as well. I just wipe it off in a paper towel. And the foundation that I'm going to be using today is my Makeup Forever foundation. So I'm going to just pump a little bit of this on the back of my hand. So for the top part of the brows, I start with the front of the brow. I don't know how any of this makes sense, but this is just what I do. And what I do is I start like right here, right at the arch, and then I just swipe it forward gently. Just following the shape that I want my brows. And I kind of just eyeball it. I'm not sure how to explain this part. And I just keep going back and forth until I get it to the shape that I want it. All right, so I'm picking up some more product and I'm going back to the back part of the brow, but I'm going to the other end of the arch, and I'm just going to gently carve the brow out. I hope you guys are seeing this. Gently. I don't try to perfect it in one go. I carve it out, and then if I need to go back in, I'll go back in. So you remember I said my arch is a little bit too sharp? This is where I clean it up. So I use the brush again to just tuck all of that in, to just carve it out to my liking. And this part is all about preference. If you like a higher arch, then you just carve it to your liking, basically. So that is what I did. It is pretty simple. Alright y'all, so I know this still looks kind of crazy, so to bring the brows together perfectly before applying foundation, what I do is take a damp sponge, preferably like my Real Technique sponge or just any sponge that I have, and what I do is I take this and just blend the front part of the brows in, because as I was blending the product in, the brow pencil and the brow pomade, it kind of went a little bit too far, so I just take the sponge and just blend over top the front of the brow like that. And you see, everything looks together now. Everything looks blended and looks really, really good. So this is what it looks like for the pencil side of the brow. For the pencil brow, when I apply my makeup, some of the times the powder and stuff gets into my makeup. So I usually touch it up once I'm done doing my makeup. After I do the fluffy brow and show you guys how to do that, I'm going to come back when my makeup is done and show you guys how I finish off like my pencil brow once my makeup is done, because I want to show you guys everything, you know. So this is what the brow is looking like. I'm going to do the soap brow effect on this side. Alright you guys, so for the soap brow or the fluffy brow effect, what you're gonna need is a brow wax. My personal favorite is the one from ABH. This is the Brow Freeze. I love this one just because it literally holds the brow all day. If you have a more affordable option to this, let me know, because as you guys can see, my brows are pretty much drugstore. And you are also going to need a brow pen. I personally prefer using a brow pen instead of a brow pencil, just because it gives a more hair-like effect to the brows. It's more precise. And this one is also from NYX. This is the brow tint pen, also in the shade Espresso. And you are also going to need a spoolie. So the brush that I use from ABH, the number 12 brush, I use the other end, the spoolie end, for my brow wax. So what I do is I just stick the spoolie in the brow wax, use it to pick up a bunch of product, and then I just use this to comb my brows upward, just so the entire brow has product. And the trick is to pick up more product and then comb the brows down as well, just so you coat the brows on both sides, the brow hairs on both sides, and then I just brush it back up, and that way you get a better hold. And after I apply this to my brow hairs, I let it dry before I go in with the pen. I prefer to do this brow method on like freshly groomed brows, just so they don't look too big. I'm just going to let this sit and then we can jump into applying the brow pen. Alright you guys, so the brow is pretty much set. That white film that you're seeing around my brows is just pretty much the brow wax on my skin. That is all going to be gone once I clean up the brows. So I'm going to take the brow pen, and what I do is I just make really tiny hair-like strokes in areas that I want to fill in. So like the tip and just anywhere that doesn't really have any hair. And I just tiny. If it is coming out too dark, I just wipe the pen off on a piece of paper towel and just go back in and just make tiny hair-like strokes. And then what I'm going to do, I'm taking the same brow pen, and what I do, I turn it sideways and kind of brush it over my hairs at the front of my brow, because the front of the brow is pretty full, but it looks like it's not full right now because, you know, it's darker. The brow pen is darker than my actual brow hairs. So I'm just going to work this over my brow hairs, but gently, just so there's not like one big blob of color there. So I'm gently working this over those areas. Basically just so everything is like one color. And I'm just looking at it to make sure that it is the shape that I want it to be, or it's as full as I want it to be. I'm going to go right in the front here. As you can see, the front right here is kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't look like perfect. So I'm going to take the pen and just make a few hairs just to fill it in. I don't know how I'm going to show you guys this part. Okay, just to fill it in so it's even. So now to clean up the brow, it's the same thing as the pencil brow. I'm just taking the flat brush from e.l.f. again with some concealer. I'm just going to carve out the bottom parts of the brow. And once again, for the top, I'm using the Makeup Forever foundation. I just messed up right in here with the foundation, so I'm just going to take the pen again and just fill that back in. And while I'm doing that, I'm taking the pen back to the tip of the brow and just make that a little thicker. And again, I'm taking the sponge and I'm going to blend the front of the brow just so everything looks more put together. Like so. And that is it, you guys. So this is the fluffy soapy brow effect. Super simple. So this is literally it for the soapy brow. I don't do any touch up like when I'm done doing my makeup, because for the most part, y'all, this does not move at all unless I somehow touch it with powder or with foundation. And if I do that, I just go back over with the brow pen. So I'm going to remove this brow actually, and I'm going to do a regular pencil brow and do my makeup, because I want to show you guys how I finish off the pencil brow routine. So I'm going to do that and then come back and show you guys how I touch up the pencil brow. But that is the soap brow and that is the pencil brow. Let me know in the comment section, which do you prefer? Do you prefer a regular pencil brow or the fluffy, more natural brow effect? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. So I'm going to finish off my makeup and then I'll be right back to finish off the pencil brow. Alright, you guys, I'm back and my makeup is done. Before I tell you guys about the lip combo, because I know y'all are going to want to hear about it, let's finish up the brows. So as you can see, like the front of my brows, they're kind of faded. So what I do, I take back the brow pencil and I just use this to create hair-like strokes at the front of the brow. And I kind of take it in a little bit. And I just keep doing this to my liking. I actually learned that little trick from Makeup Shayla a while back, and I've been doing it ever since, and it makes such a huge difference. If you do like a regular brow routine, try this and trust me, it will change the way your brows look in your pictures. So what I'm going to do now is take the Merit brow pomade. This is in the shade black brown, and I kind of use this as like a brow gel, once again just to like touch up the brow, probably if some powder got in my brow hairs or anything like that. And I focus this on the back parts of the brow. And this is the brows. I'm hoping that this video isn't too long, but I just didn't want to leave anything out. I wanted this video to be as detailed as possible. So now for the lip combo. I was watching Aaliyah's face the other day and she pulled out the Nicki Minaj lipstick. Her lip combo was everything, and I reached for that lipstick today, and y'all, it is giving. So I used my ColourPop BFF4 liner, the Nicki Minaj lipstick, and the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb, a little bit of the shade Confetti and the shade Fenty Glow, just to get this concoction. And y'all, it looks so good. The face is giving. I am going to film my updated foundation routine for you guys, so be on the lookout for that. But the face is giving. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys found it helpful. I know I took a long time to give you guys this brow routine, but it is here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Once again, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.